Hey everyone, thanks for tuning in. So today's video will do a little bit of a ramble, no rants, but I have been offline a couple of weeks, essentially, at least from YouTube. Spent a week in California with my family, and then the week after this last week, my mom came back with us to Utah to spend some time with us. So no videos got done, which is totally fine. Family comes first, of course. But in the vein of family, I wanted to show you guys what I got my new brother-in-law. So, flew out to Texas a few weeks back for my little sister's wedding. Met my new brother-in-law for the in person for the first time. Really nice kid. They're going to be poor students for a while. He has probably 4 years left in school, and my little sister, she's done with school, so she'll just be working. But anyhow, nice kid. Wanted to get him something, and what really spurred on me picking these up for him was when I noticed he was carrying a box cutter as an EDC. And so I want to show you guys what I got him and explain a little bit about why I got him, what I got him. Start off with the want to get him two essentials. One's a flashlight and one is a pocket knife. Flashlight, I'm not really a flashlight enthusiast, so I'm not necessarily going to have a lot to say about this, other than the fact that a couple things I was looking for. One, obviously a pretty good user interface, which Olight has with the button on the side here. And then two, this is the SR10 Baton 3, their newest version. I think it just came out. Was more expensive than the SR10 Baton 2 or 1. Has a higher loom output, I think a little bit better battery life. But this one has a charging station, which I thought was really cool, and I felt like that would be beneficial for someone who doesn't necessarily carry flashlights on the norm. Just a really easy system to keep it charged. So this one's got the, I don't know if it shows it anywhere. Yeah, it's got the docking charging station, so you just put it on your desk, plug it in, pop the thing down, magnetically adheres, and you can just charge it on the norm. So anyways, I don't want to take this one apart or open it up, I wanted him to be able to open this one, so apologize for all the glare on this thing, but that's the flashlight I got him. Again, as far as his job goes, he works in a distribution facility, drives a forklift, that sort of thing, so that's why I think he picked up the habit of carrying a box cutter. But this should be a fairly good flashlight. Again, top seller, I think, for most, like Going Gear and I think Blade HQ, places like that. GP Knives, this is probably their top sellers. So I felt like it was a really safe choice. Anyhow, that's why I got him this flashlight in particular. Next, and where I'm going to spend a little bit more time, is talking about the pocket knife that I got him. So he's a lefty, and I did post on Instagram asking you guys, hey, what are some really good dedicated lefty options? And what I had failed to think about was, something that was essentially ambi-friendly or ambidextrous friendly, which would be, the access lock, things of that sort. So some of you guys started throwing out recommendations for the for different Benchmade models, and I was like, oh yeah, I didn't think about Benchmades. And I decided to get him what is my absolute favorite Benchmade, and what I think is probably the best bang for the buck from Benchmade, and it's now discontinued, unfortunately. So if you guys are not familiar with this one or haven't picked one up or thinking about it, now is the time. So this is the Benchmade full-size Doug Ritter grip, and M390. I had one of these a long time ago, and I sent it off to Death Grips. You can find a video somewhere back in my feed. But I got some really, really nice like carbon fiber with like wood inlay scales. Really beautiful. So I got him a full-size Doug Ritter grip. That way he has a decent pocket knife. Obviously, best bang for the buck. This is like 140 something. And then, if you're buying a knife for someone who doesn't necessarily know how to sharpen a knife, obviously going with the highest tier of steel possible is, of course, in their benefit. So this one is done in M390, really nice belly. And this one came perfectly centered, action is good. So I did a couple of things on this knife. Let me show you. The first one's gonna kind of stand out here, and that is I had his initials put on the knife. Now, let's talk about this for a minute. I don't like initials on knives. I think it looks a little bit cheap, but I didn't do it for aesthetic or sentimental or any of those things. I did it for a very practical purpose. In talking to him and my little sister, he took off a couple of weeks from work for his honeymoon, and apparently his coworkers were giving him shit about being able to take off, like 2 or 3 weeks from work. And I was thinking about that, and I was like, if it was one of my coworkers and they got married and they got to take a couple weeks off from work, I'd say awesome. Hope you have a great time. I wouldn't bitch about the fact that they were taking a bunch of time off from work. And so, in thinking about that, I was like, if he drops or loses this out of his pocket while he's driving a forklift or something, I want to have a way that it's his, unequivocally his knife. Someone can't say, oh, I bought the same knife and this is mine. So that's why I did his initials on the knife, is because after hearing his coworkers were giving him shit, I just didn't trust them to return the knife to him if he ever dropped it. But if his initials are on it, obviously it's harder for someone in his work environment to take it. So kind of a sad reason to do it, but it's a very practical purpose. Again, I don't really think, that it's cool or it's nifty or that it adds anything to it. Practical purposes. So anyways, I will say that this is a KnifeWorks exclusive, this model. And I ordered it on like a Sunday, and then I sent him an email early Monday morning. Said, hey, can you please add initials? And their customer service was top notch. They added the initials and had it out the same day. So kudos to KnifeWorks for knocking that out really quick. Sometimes when you email customer service and you're trying to have them follow up on an order, it always slips through, but they did a really good job. So credit where credit's due. Some of the other things that I did on the knife are, of course, I switched over the pocket clip for left-hand carry. Put a little bit of Loctite on the screws, just make sure that everything was solid and good to go for him as a lefty. I also, dialed in the pivot as much as possible so that it's, smooth and centered, which it is. Thankfully, this one came centered, so, took out the pivot screw, put a little bit of Loctite on the pivot, optimized the tension, made sure it was still centered, and just had it good to go. As you guys know, a lot of the axis locks or Benchmates have problems with proper centering, and screws come loose and all that sort of thing. So again, keeping in mind that he's not a knife enthusiast, and he probably won't, I guarantee he won't have Torx heads. I just wanted to have this as rock solid as possible before sending it to him. So these were Loctited, name was engraved, pocket clip was switched, and it should be good to go. So anyways, that's why, that's what I got him. They're essentially going to be late wedding presents. Obviously they don't benefit my sister at all, maybe the flashlight, who knows, but just kind of two pieces of solid EDC gear that he can use and abuse and enjoy without really knowing how to maintain or get special batteries or any of that sort of stuff. So I felt that these were as foolproof as possible, but don't take foolproof in a negative connotation, just as dialed in as they possibly could be for someone not familiar with all of this stuff. So anyways, just I don't know, hopefully that was interesting, kind of my thought process and what I got him. So I don't know, this was like $147 with the engraving option, I want to say, somewhere around there. And this one was like 60 something. I don't know, about $200 worth of gear. Not really a huge deal. Again, hopefully he doesn't lose them. My other brother-in-law, I gave him one of my Kaisers, one of the nicer Kaisers that was about $200 as well. So, hopefully it's a fair trade-off and no one's getting upset. Although I doubt either watch my videos. Shit. Oh well. Okay, so that's pretty much it. We'll leave it there. Benchmade Doug Ritter grip. This is now discontinued. So if you guys are looking for a Benchmade, this would be my. Well, the 940 is amazing too, but this one's a better value. So yeah, if you've been looking for a Benchmade or didn't know that these were discontinued, snag one while you can. They're replacing it with something else, but I don't think the value is going to be anywhere as close to what this has been. So, yeah. Alright guys, thanks for watching. I need to knock out a couple more videos today, so just keep your eyes open. Should be more videos uploading soon. And thanks for watching. If you haven't, click the subscribe button. You can also follow me on Instagram as Epic Snuggle Bunny. Take care.